Summer was Josh's favorite season of the year. It was full of adventure, fun, long carefree days with friends and evenings full of warm laughter. But this year, something had changed. Josh was a normal 16-year-old guy who loved playing basketball with his friends and hanging out at the local skate park. He also enjoyed spending time with his girlfriend Emma, and his parents were always supportive and loving. Summer was supposed to be about fun and relaxation, but for some reason Josh was feeling pressured. He felt like there was so much he wanted to do and so little time. He wanted to get new shoes and clothes. He wanted to buy a car and start driving around with his friends. And he also wanted to spend quality time with his girlfriend and not just be on his phone all the time. But how could he do all of that? The summer holidays lasted only 2 months, and then he would have to go back to school and get ready for college. One evening, while walking home from the mall, Josh noticed a small antique shop he had never seen before. Curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to walk in. The bell above the door chimed as he entered, and an old woman sitting behind the counter looked up. "Welcome," she said with a smile. "What can I help you with?" Nothing," Josh replied. "I was just, browsing." He started looking around the store. There were all kinds of strange items on the shelves, from old cameras to vintage typewriters. It almost felt like stepping back in time. The old woman watched him curiously. "Can I ask you something?" she finally said. "Sure," Josh replied, turning to face her. "Have you ever wondered how you could earn lots of money very quickly?" she asked. "Like really rich, enough to buy whatever you want." Josh thought for a moment. "Yeah, I guess everyone has thought about that at one point or another," he said. "But how do you do it?" The old woman smiled mysteriously. "Well, I happen to know a way," she said, "and I think you might be just the person I'm looking for." Josh was skeptical but intrigued. He sat down on a nearby chair, and the old woman explained her plan. "I'll make you an offer," she said. "You can sell me your time, and for every hour you give me, I will pay you $100. "What?" Josh exclaimed. "So I give you 1 hour and I get $100? That sounds crazy." The old woman nodded. "Exactly. You might be wondering why you should agree to this deal, but let me ask you, what would you say is the most valuable thing you possess?" Josh thought for a moment. "Time," he said. "I mean, you always have more time. So if you already have time, why not make some money out of it, right?" The old woman smiled. "Very wise, young man. Very wise indeed." She reached under the counter and pulled out a small, intricately carved wooden box. "Here," she said, placing it in front of him. "This box will show you how much time you have left." Curious, Josh opened the box. Inside was an hourglass filled with black sand. The old woman explained that every grain of sand represented 1 minute of his life. As the sand flowed from top to bottom, it was like watching time slip through his fingers. "I want you to take this box with you everywhere," the old woman said. "It will remind you of our deal." Josh hesitated for a moment, but the allure of easy money was too tempting to resist. "Okay," he said, agreeing to the deal. As soon as he stepped outside, Josh started thinking about all the things he could buy with his newfound wealth. First, he'd get himself a pair of those limited edition sneakers he had been eyeing. Then maybe he could treat Emma to a nice dinner and surprise her with a beautiful necklace. And finally, he could buy himself a sweet ride and put all his friends to shame. All these thoughts raced through his head as he walked past the old woman's shop, not realizing that she was watching him from the window. A knowing smile played on her lips. The next day at school, Josh couldn't focus on his lessons. All he could think about was how much money he could earn by selling his time. He pulled out the wooden box and watched as the sand slowly trickled through the glass. Each grain represented a minute of his life that he could turn into cash. When the bell rang for the end of the day, Josh didn't wait around to chat with his friends or crush. He practically sprinted to the old woman's shop, eager to start making some money. As soon as he entered, the old woman paid him $100 for each hour he had given her and sent him on his way. With a brand new pocket full of cash, Josh went on a shopping spree. He bought himself the sneakers he had always wanted, followed by a new wardrobe that made him look like a young Wall Street tycoon. He couldn't wait to show off his new stuff to his friends, and he also picked up a stylish new car. He was so excited that he ended up forgetting about treating Emma to dinner, which made her sad. But hey, money talks, and Josh was now fluent in its language. Over the next few weeks, Josh fell into a routine. He would wake up early in the morning and rush to the old woman's shop to sell his time. Then he would hit the books in order to keep up with his schoolwork before hitting the shops to buy more stuff. He became obsessed with trying to make more money, more power, more prestige. He spent less and less time with his family and friends, and even sacrificed his sleep in order to squeeze in a few extra hours of work. Meanwhile, the old woman continued to buy his time, always with a knowing smile on her face. She grew richer by the day, and yet there was a strange emptiness in her eyes that hinted at a deeper sadness. One evening, Josh came home late from the shop and found his parents sitting in the kitchen. They looked tired and disappointed. "Josh," his mother said, "we need to talk." He sat down at the table and they talked. They expressed their disappointment in him and told him that he was becoming a stranger in his own home. They missed the kind, caring boy he once was, and they were worried that he was trading away his childhood for meaningless material things. For the first time, Josh realized that he had taken his parents for granted. He had neglected his relationship with them and had failed to appreciate their love and support. That night, as Josh lay in bed, he pulled out the wooden box. Only a handful of black sand remained. He stared at the grains as they slowly slipped through his fingers, and he realized that he had traded away his most precious moments for money. He remembered all the times he had missed with his friends and family, the funny jokes, the heartfelt conversations, and the shared experiences that had made life so precious. Suddenly, he understood that there was more to life than just making money. There was something to be said for living in the moment and savoring the beauty of everyday life. With newfound clarity, Josh got out of bed and went to find his parents. He apologized for his behavior and promised to spend more time with them. He knew it wouldn't bring back the lost moments, but he was determined to make new memories. From that day on, Josh started valuing his time more than money. He cut back on his hours at the shop and started spending more time with his friends and family. He learned that true happiness didn't come from material possessions, but from the love and relationships he had nurtured. As for the old woman, she watched Josh from afar with a wistful smile. She had made many youngsters an offer they couldn't refuse. But Josh was the first one to realize the true value of time. Maybe there was still hope for him yet.